We're talking about how to build Facebook Messenger chatbots in just 20 minutes and so much more. And really excited to be here because this is a really amazing topic that I'm very excited about. Today's agenda, we're going to talk a little bit about kind of why chatbots are important, why you need them, but then we're going to go through the nuts and bolts of actually building this stuff and actually kind of come up with the tactics and strategies to best employ them to achieve your marketing objectives. So we'll talk about the chatbot basics. We'll be building chatbots. We will be talking about different hacks to kind of grow your contact lists and how to message people really effectively and more. So basically, that's the agenda today. Before we get into all the details, I just wanted to introduce myself briefly. My name is Larry Kim. I'm slightly obsessed with unicorns. I live in Cambridge, Massachusetts. It's just in Harvard Square, famous area where Microsoft was founded and Facebook was founded, also where I started my last company, WordStream, in 2018. It's a massive company, with hundreds and hundreds of employees and gazillions of customers. But last year, I left the business that I founded to start this new business, Mobile Monkey, which is in the chatbot space. And the reason why I did this was because, when I first learned about these things, I immediately knew that this was sort of the future of how companies need to do, marketing communications and growth marketing. So that's kind of, it's not just hyperbole. I really did, drop everything to jump on this thing. And basically, the last thing I'll say is just I have a 3-year-old kid. You can follow him on Twitter, hashtag PPC Kid. I'm joined by my colleague, Daniel Golder. He's the product manager here at Mobile Monkey. Dan, do you want to say hi?
Sure. Hi, everyone. I'm the product manager here, like Larry said. So I work on sort of taking Larry's vision and turning it into a reality, and unicorns are growing on me.
Cool. I hope so. Otherwise, it'll be a really miserable time here. Anyways, back to our story. We're talking about chatbots, and good to start with kind of why chatbots, why you should care. I'm going to give you a couple of reasons. Number one, messaging apps. There more people use social messaging than social networks. Think about that for a second. Like, if you think about how much time and energy you're spending on social media, yet only 1% of businesses can actually engage with customers via chat, like via the Facebook Messenger, that kind of stuff. A second reason has to do with just declining reach within the Facebook newsfeed algorithm for publishers and brands and companies. Earlier this year, Mark Zuckerberg kind of made a change to the newsfeed algorithm to prioritize ads and friends and family content over publisher stuff, and basically it was a huge loss, 90% loss of organic reach for those, if you're publishing stuff to a Facebook page. Another reason to do this has to do with declining open rates for email. So if you do any email marketing, back in the day, I used to be able to get 30, 40, 50% open rates. Now it's closer to 5 or 10%. The reason is because all these filters keep filtering out stuff into the promotion box, even if they're content and emails that I've opted into receiving. They just don't end up being consumed by people. Number four, even if you do have a chat system on your website, there's a lot of problems with that model. It's like, one, it's like you kind of make the user wait for a long time, and I think on mobile people are impatient. They want to kind of know their answers to the questions right away. And then, of course, it's a cost. Like, you have to hire someone to staff these chat lines, and they're just, a lot of times these questions are just quick questions like, what are your hours and this kind of stuff. What's the status of my return? Quick questions that ought to be answered by robots as opposed to this clunky old system. And so the last but yet most important reason why I think you should be looking into chatbots, stuff like Mobile Monkey, has to do with just the ridiculous cost of Facebook ads. So, 3, 4, 5 years ago, Facebook ads were pretty cheap. This holiday season, like the prices were up 50%. The mobile conversion rates are awful. They're around 1 or 2%. And so if you use a chatbot with your Facebook advertising efforts, I think what you will find is a 5 to 10x improvement in return on investment for your the money that you're spending on Facebook ads. It might sound crazy, but I will show you how that is indeed the case in just a few minutes. All right, anything you would add to this, Dan?
No, that was great. I'm just sort of reiterating just how front and center the Facebook message notifications are compared to the emails that all end up in your promotions box on Gmail.
Or clutter in Outlook. It's just, even like my own engineering updates, like the bug reports and stuff, they don't even end up in my inbox because I don't read them enough. So it's
Your
things.
work email. It's not even your personal.
Yeah. Okay, so wouldn't it be great, guys, if there was some crazy way that we could like improve the Facebook conversion rates by 10x improvements? What if we could get back to like the 75% open rates from like 1999, back 20 years ago? What if we could triple to 3 to 5 times increases in conversion rates? Um, and do this in a way that was fully automated and didn't require any human intervention. I think that would be pretty interesting, and that is exactly what we're talking about today, because that is the power of a Facebook chatbot. So moving on to part two, let's talk about some of the basics. What exactly are these chatbots, and why should you care? Well, let me just show you here. Like, a picture is sometimes a really great way to illustrate this. On the left here this is an example of a chatbot that is being used for lead generation. So I'm sure maybe you've read about chatbots helping out in customer support and customer service. There's nothing saying that you can't use these chatbots for pretty much anything. And this is an example of a chatbot that is asking a user for their email, the phone number, the contact information, etc. And that is a robot that is interrogating the user. You can think of this as almost like a equivalent of a landing page, but a more mobile-friendly version of it. The second thing that's really interesting about this technology is that it runs through Facebook Messenger, as opposed to those stupid pop-ups on websites where if you close the window, the conversation disappears. Here, the conversation persists, and then the contact stays in as one of your messenger contacts. So you can just, if you want to order another pizza, or talk to the business, like book your next dentist appointment or whatever, you can just pick up from where you left off, as if it was just another contact in your address book. Anything to add here, Dan?
No, that's great. Yeah, just thinking about how after 30 seconds of somebody being on your website and asking a question, they're gone forever unless you have a way to get back in touch with them on a channel like this.
Yeah, so it persists across, not just sessions, but, for the lifetime of the customer. Awesome. So most of the time today I wanted to spend in kind of building chatbots and showing you how to do this step by step, because it sounds really cool, but really what people want to know is, how do you do this? And so why don't we show you how to do this using this product, Mobile Monkey, and in our example application today, we're going to just build a sample chatbot for my personal Facebook fan page. So I have a Facebook business page. Okay. I just use it because people sometimes reach out to me, and I have this page. Okay, and unfortunately, I get a lot of mail, as you can see here. Inbox 18 unread messages or something. And so what I would like to do in this example is create a bot that can kind of process some of the inquiries automatically. Okay, because I'm lazy, I don't want to have to go through all these 18 messages. So basically, what we're going to do here is we're going to use Mobile Monkey to create a chatbot here in 15 to 20 minutes. And the neat thing about this is you don't have to do any software coding. So there's two ways of building a bot. You can write software using the Facebook APIs, or you can use a tool like Mobile Monkey to just graphically create these bots. And as an analogy, It's a lot like how a lot of marketers use WordPress or Drupal, like these content management systems to create, blog posts and web content. They don't necessarily have to go in and be experts at formatting tables and all this stuff. The product kind of does the coding for you. The same idea here. You just kind of describe what you want the bot to do, and we'll implement the code for you. All right, so the first thing we need to do here is create a welcome page. A welcome page is a really important piece of content. It's the first thing that your user gets when they start a conversation with your page or with your bot. And you can see here, I'm just kind of filling in the information for the welcome page. At the top here, there's a lot of different widgets that you can add to a page. This is very similar to how in WordPress or Drupal, how you can add like tables and bulleted lists and images. Same idea here. We're just creating some content, except that this content is being delivered via chat rather than the mobile web. And basically, there's text, images, lists, forms, email, video, etc. In my welcome page, I'm going to keep it simple. I'm just going to add an input type called a quick question. Okay, so that's just like a one question form. And so the question will be, in case we're disconnected, can I get your email? Okay, and I'm just going to save it to an attribute. So I'm asking the user for something. I'm going to need to save this as a variable, and I'm going to save it into the that's not right, into the email variable. Okay, and there's different types of questions you can ask: a multiple choice question or text only. This is an example of a text only because they're entering in text. And then I'm going to just add some more to this page, like a little block of content of text, and I'll just say something like "great" or "thank you." There's variables, so like Facebook will tell you the names of the person, etc. So you can just say "thank you," first name, proceed to main menu. Okay, so add a button, main menu. Okay. So it's almost like we're building an HTML page, but it's actually a lot easier because the formatting on an HTML, as you know, it's like, oh my God, it has to look beautiful and everything. Here it's just text, and it's so much easier to create than HTML, if you ask me. Okay, so the welcome page, that's what they see when they first start the bot. We now have to create some content for this bot. And so in my simple example, we're going to create like a main menu consisting of three things. So do you see this thing here, guys, where it says default group? Think of those as just like folders, like for organizing content in your page. So like this is going to be kind of where I'm going to store my main bot content. Okay, so I'm going to create a page. It's going to be called main menu. Okay. And the main menu will just have some text. The text will say, choose from an option below. And I'm going to add three options. Okay, option number one is about Larry. A lot of times people just want to find out something about me. Another one could be directions. And then another one could be contact Larry. Okay. So this is pretty simple so far. What we need to do now is we need to implement this content. Okay, so we need to make these pages basically. So create two more pages. One is called about Larry. All right, here. And then for this one, I'm just going to add maybe in this case an image. Okay, so I'm going to upload a picture of what should I upload? Maybe a unicorn, and add some text saying like Larry is totally obsessed with unicorns. Okay, add a button going back to the main menu. Normally I would write something more interesting about myself, but this is just a simple example. Okay. And then I'm going to add one more piece of content. It was this one here, the Contact Larry page. So I'm going to create another page here, call it Contact form. Okay. And by the way, if you guys have any questions, you can just type it into the chat window, and my colleague Dan will either you can announce the question or respond privately. The contact form, it's this one here. And so this is really amazing. It's kind of like an alternative to a landing page. So those stupid landing pages, they convert at like 1 or 2% on mobile. Something like this, if you do it right, it can convert at 100%. I'll show you how that works in just a second here. So the form name is contact Larry, and basically I'm going to just say, can I get your first name? Question mark. Oh no, your full name. Full name. Okay, and then I'm going to save it to full name. Thanks, comma, full name. The next question is, and a number to reach you at question mark. Save this to phone. And another question would be, and how can we help? How can I help you today? Question mark. Save that to message. Okay. Thanks, full name, first name. We'll be in touch soon. So that's it. This is kind of like the chat equivalent of a web form. And I'm going to just add a couple more bells and whistles here. One of them is an email widget here. So email, because I'd love it to just send me an email. I'd love it to send me an email saying that there's a hot lead, from the chatbot. So it's sending an email to me, and I'm just going to summarize some of the information: full name, comma, phone, comma, message. Boom. Okay, and then from there, I'm just going to add a little bit more text, or return to the main menu. Okay, and add a button. Main menu, and then going back to the main menu, add the button. Okay, so let's recap here. Okay, so the user starts with the bot. We're going to just try to get their email. This is just a little growth hack. It's kind of like when the bank asks you for your email to mail you the statement. It's this little hack. They're trying to get your email address. So I'm going to try to get their email address here, and then I'm going to send them to the main menu. Okay, so that's the main menu. Once you get to the main menu, there's a couple options. There's a couple options here. Just a second here. Mobile Monkey, Larry's chatbot. About Larry has to go to the About Larry page. Contact Larry has to go to the contact page. And then for directions, so far we've been creating like chat content, like pages for chat, but there's nothing saying that you can make these buttons go to phone numbers or even web pages, just by changing the type of link. So in this case, I'll just go get google.com. I'm just going to get an address, 359 Newberry Street, Boston. Okay, so that link I am going to put in the chatbot here. Okay, update the button. Okay, so we're almost done here. There was two things you needed to do. The first is you have to configure your Mobile Monkey bot to connect with your Facebook page. So I've actually already done this, but if you hadn't done this, you would go to configure and then just connect it to the page by logging into Facebook here. Okay, and then the other thing you need to do is then go out and try testing the bot. And this is pretty simple. You just click on this button here that says test this bot, and it says open it in Messenger, and here we go. It's asking me here, in case we're disconnected, Can I get your email address? And that's kind of that funny hack. So I'll just go play along. Larry at mobilemonkey.com. Thank you, Larry. Proceed to the main menu. Main menu. Choose for an option below about Larry. Larry is totally obsessed with unicorns. Contact Larry. Can I get your full name? Larry Kim. Thanks, Larry Kim. The number to reach you at 617-959-3967. And how can I help? Need to learn more about chatbots. So now it's fired off an email to me, and I have this information in my system. And congratulations, everyone. We've just built, a very simple bot, but in a very little amount of time without requiring any coding. Dan, are there any questions from our listeners today, or anything you want to add here?
Yeah, so just to add, when you're building your bot for the first time, it might be a little bit kind of overwhelming. Like, where do I kind of start? And my usual advice is to start at what you want to achieve with it. For us, maybe it's acquiring leads, sort of gathering people's email addresses so that we can contact them later through email, although we can already contact them through chat, which Larry will show you. But sort of start at the end and then work your way back and kind of build an experience around that. As far as questions, there are a bunch. I'm trying to keep up as well as I can. For everyone asking if it's compatible with different website hosters, it absolutely is. It's Facebook's plugin. We'll show you in a minute. But here's a good one from Daniela. Is there any way to configure the chatbot to evolve with the user? For example, if the user comes back, have the chatbot mention or ask something new?
You know the answer to that one. Why don't why don't you do that?
So yes, there is. Larry's going to show you in a few minutes our audience segmentation, which is pretty cool. So you could put everyone who's talked to your chatbot before in one bucket and put everyone who's talked to your chatbot 5 times in another bucket, and you can kind of configure the experience that they're going to have around those different specifications. And there's a bunch of other different properties that you can design those audiences around. So we'll show you a little bit of that in a few.
Okay, guys, we're going to make this demo super interactive, so I'm going to need your help here. Just pull up a browser, okay, and go to https://www.facebook.com/ws.larrykim. That's my Facebook page. That's this page here, okay, and see where it says send message on the homepage of my Facebook page, which is facebook.com/ws.larrykim. Okay, navigate to there. Now, then where it says send message, can you try sending me a message? Just say hello, or just click on main menu, or whatever you want. Just go in there. The reason is because I want to show you that a very important feature of this kind of messaging platform is that if somebody messages you via chat, you can message them back, and that's where it gets really, really, really interesting. So please, everyone, just go to facebook.com/WSLarryKim, go to the send message button here, and just send me some message, like hello or something. So let's see if anyone is actually doing this here. Thank you, Dave. Thank you, Corey. Thank you, Ben. Thank you, Richard. Oh, yeah, look at this. Hundreds of people. Danielle, thank you so much. They're all coming in. How's the weather? By the way, you can see all these things coming. Oh, someone's got a unicorn as a profile image. That's amazing. You can see all these things coming in through the inbox here. And don't worry, it doesn't really do anything. This chatbot isn't that useful because we just put it together in like 10 minutes, but it'll get better. Okay. So back to our story. We're back. We're building our chatbot here. One of the really, really interesting things about this Facebook Messenger is that I get the contact information for everyone who interacts with this bot. So like, look how many people have interacted with my bot here, okay? And I can just like click on their picture, Craig Andrews, probably someone on the webinar today, I get your photo, I get your full name, I get, there's any form submissions, the gender, the location, the language settings. So like, well, this is so incredible because if you're say you're doing Facebook advertising, okay, what's the cost per click these days on Facebook advertising? Like $3, $4, $5 a click, typically for click campaigns. Usually only 1 or 2% of the people who click on your link and go to your website will actually fill out the forms that you're hoping for them to fill out. But here I get the information of everybody who interacts with the form. You see what I'm saying? So this is so much more valuable than not knowing who the heck visited in the first place. Firstly, because now I can look you up here. But the second reason why this is so amazing is I can blast you. I can blast you follow-up contacts. So let me show you how to do that. So basically, what we're going to do is we're going to the Campaigns tab here, okay? And we're going to create a new campaign, basically a chat campaign that's kind of like using, I don't know, like MailChimp or iContact, like one of these email blasters, except that we're blasting via chat. So we're going to have like an 80% open rate instead of a 5% open rate. Okay, so all we need to do here is create the campaign name, but then there's two things that we need. One is the audience that we're sending it to. So what's the list of recipients? And the other thing is what content, like what's the content that we're sending to that user, in terms of the message itself. So let's do this. It's very simple. What we'll do first is contacts. Okay, we'll create the audience. So view audiences here. View audiences. So create an audience. I will call it test audience for 1 p.m. webinar. Okay, like EST. Let's look at the filters here. So there's so we're going to have to go with everyone created today. Okay, so anyone who came into the platform, greater than yesterday. Okay, so that's all of you guys, plus this morning's webinar session. So they're going to get another email from me. Oh well. So that's it. We just created an audience. Click done. I mean, boy, was that ever easy. We've got 188 contacts here. Those are the people who messaged me. Like it's not too late. If you want to get this thing, just go to my page and message me, and I'll send you some secret message through chat. Okay, so now let's go back to the campaigns tab. Oh no, sorry. Now we have to create the content for this blast. So we're going to blast these 188 people. Are we going to send them to the home page? Like you can think of this as kind of like this main menu is kind of like the home page of a chat version of your website, sort of like. Usually when you're doing blasts, you don't just send to the home page. You usually send them to like some separate landing page that's kind of like, a little bit different. So that's why you have these folders, the groups. So like, I'm going to call this the landing page for 1 p.m. webinar test. Okay. I don't know, what could we send them? We could create a piece of content. So this is the test blast for 1 p.m. webinar. Okay. So what should we send them, Dan? I know, we can send them a unicorn. Like this one here, maybe? I don't know. It's kind of ridiculous. Yeah, I have a library of thousands of unicorn images, guys. Text. Okay, so let's add some text. I don't know. Check out my latest blog post on, I don't know. Let's go to the blog. By the way, I have a new blog, guys. It's mobilemonkey.com/blog, and I'm doing all my blogging here. What would be one that was interesting? How about how about 10 examples of how brands are using. Okay. It's the message is my latest post on the Mobile Monkey blog. Okay, 10 examples. Okay. It's kind of a very weird picture. um, visit blog. And then we'll just put a URL. Okay. We'll just grab this URL and put that into here. Add button. Okay. So there you got, like, I mean, this is a very basic example, but you kind of get the idea. You can create some content for your blast, and you know what we'll do? We'll add another button saying, go to main menu. So this will kind of, it's like a link back to the home page, if you will. So that's this page. Add the button. So they can either visit the blog or they can navigate back to my homepage with that content that we just created. Okay, so we're almost cooking here. All we need to do is, now that we've created the audience, we've created the content, let's do the blasting here. New campaign. So this is the test campaign for 1 p.m. webinar. We're going to go to 188 contacts, and we're going to send them this piece of content. Are we good to go here? Send. This message will send to 1-888 contacts. Boom. So just give this a few minutes, because there's an image, but in the next few minutes, your phone is gonna buzz, and you're gonna get my dumb unicorn with the link to that blog post. And now think about that. Like, how powerful is that? Because you could be collecting, chat contacts and blasting your top content, or your best offers, or your appointment reminders, or whatever the heck you want to do. Have reasonably high confidence that they'll actually see the content that you're sending them, as opposed to sending it into a spam filter. So this is so great. Here, I'll show you what's happening. See, we're going to, this is my my page. You can see it's sending all this, like, Mark got it now, and it's now William is getting it. Now Kat. So it's just churning. It's sending out all the blasts, and it'll take a few minutes, but it's working here. Okay. Claudia, Pierre, thank you everyone for opting into these updates. I promise I won't spam you anymore. So let's go to our next hack. Well, why don't we just stop there, because, like, blasting, I think, is kind of a big deal. Any questions on blasting from our audience, Dan, or anything that I missed? You're muted, by the way. Dan, you're muted.
Sorry, thanks. One question from David Brooks. Can you ask Larry to speak to using this as a quasi-CRM to label and identify qualified versus not qualified leads?
Oh, of course. This is absolutely, like, so in your form, okay, so remember we built that form earlier here on that was in the default group, the contact form. You would add a question like, I don't know, it could be like a multi, okay? And you could say, how many employees do you have? Like you could have, like, all these kind of, like, qualification questions saved to, company size, right? And then the values could be like, like 1, 10, 100, 1,000, something like that, right? What just happened there? So sorry, I'm doing it wrong. It's 1 to 5. Enter. Just 1 to 5. You get the idea. So you just put in the values, okay, and then you go to the audience definition. So when you're creating the audience, okay. Create the audience, you would say, I only want to blast, you'd call the audience something like enterprise company folk, okay, and then you'd add a filter, and you'd say, where company size, that's the variable that we just created, is greater than 1,000 or something. You see what I'm saying? So that basically you can, yeah, absolutely. Like this is the whole point of this is you can it's sort of like the old way of doing marketing automation was you would have these crappy landing pages that people would fill out their information, okay, and then you would capture their email so that you could blast them with emails. Okay, so the reason why that doesn't work anymore is because those crappy landing pages don't work on mobile anymore. The conversion rates are like 1 or 2% of them fill them out. Here on chat, it's 100% conversion rate because I get everyone's information. Uh, the other reason why the old thing doesn't work is that when you were sending the emails, you used to be able to get through, but now it's like only 5% of them get through the spam filters. So this is, yeah, of course. Think of this as kind of the next generation of mobile marketing automation. It actually has the engagement rate to convert to 100%, and also the high visibility of triggering notifications and such. Any other questions?
No, that was it. There's a lot of questions, but maybe we can move on, and I'll try and touch the other ones when we get to those parts.
All right, guys. So one of the most important features, like that you really need to have this one of the killer reasons why like all of our customers are using this. It's for Facebook ads. So just by a show of chat, like how many of you guys are doing Facebook ads? Just message them so I can get a sense for this. I think 70, 80, 90% of people are of the money spent on Facebook ads is going to a traffic campaign. That's where we send link clicks to your website. This is a really stupid waste of money because it doesn't convert, and the costs are so high. What you need to do is send that traffic here instead to messages. Okay, so it's a different type of campaign type where you're sending people into Messenger rather than to your site, and so. It's really simple to build. It's the same audience setup as before, except that all you do is you just choose an image. Maybe let's go with I don't know, a unicorn. This one here. It's a donkey. Okay. I'll mix things up a bit. So it would be something like get the world's best chatbot builder platform. You know, message, promo for a sweet deal. Okay, just like you would create an intent. You would create some content for the promotion and have that respond, for that keyword. And basically, what's different here is that it's this is a it's saying it's too small. I see, but it just says I don't know, monkeys. Okay, we're just going with all the animal kingdom today. So see here how it says send message. Like this is so great because when someone clicks on that, what you should do is you should just message them like a quick question, like do you like unicorns or do you like chatbots? Yes or no. As soon as they engage either yes or no, they've engaged with your bot and therefore have subscribed to updates from you. Okay, so you get their contact information and you can message them back as long as they initiate a conversation with you. And the hack to getting them to initiate contact is like those dumb pop-ups where they say like, do you want a discount? Yes or no. Like you just ask a dumb question, and even if they say no, you still can engage with them. So I think this is really great because instead of having 2% conversion rate, you're going to have 100% conversion rate. And some of you might be thinking like, how is this any different from the lead lead ads where they sign up for the leads. This is so much better than leads. Like when someone signs up for a lead ad, it just sits there. It just sits in a lead filing cabinet. And like you have to log in and download the leads and do something. Here they can they can sign up for your webinar, or they can buy your thing right away. Like this is so much better than a lead ad. Any questions on this use case in general, or like how this is like so much better than just sending people to some stupid website or landing page?
People are asking you, like, how long can you engage with somebody after they engage with your bot? Like, what's the limit on that?
Um, as long as do you have the exact answer? Like,
Exactly, you can engage with them until they opt out. Essentially, I mean, you can send them something uh, as long as it's not like you know overtly promotional, like click this to get a 50% deal. Like you can do that within 24 hours, but for the lifetime of that contact being in your system, you can engage with them. And once they engage because you sent them some educational content or a blog post or something, at that point, then, within, you have a new 24-hour window to send them promotions.
you got it. So that's kind of the number one use case is well, we've talked a couple things. We can use these bots as landing page replacements. We can use these. We can use them as kind of interceptors of Facebook ads to make your Facebook ads like 100 times better. Yeah, literally 100 times better, and going from a 1% conversion rate to a 100% conversion rate. That's pretty good. Not a lot of technologies can do that. And I just want to share a couple other interesting use cases. The blaster is so interesting that it kind of would be in your best interest to not just have 100 contacts. You'd want 1,000 contacts. You see what I mean? And these are super contacts, because like a chat contact is worth like 20 times more, because people will actually see this message as opposed to just going into clutter. So like there's some hacks that we have to increase the contacts, and the way that you do this is you go to the promoter tab here. See where it says promoters? Okay. And basically, what this does is you can add a promoter, and we've got different types of promoters. One of the really interesting ones is called a customer chat widget. Okay, so what that does is it just gives you some code here to put on your site. Okay, and when you put it on your site, here's what it looks like. It's this thing here at the bottom here, this little lightning bolt there. This is how can I help you chat now. This is so interesting because if you have traffic to your site, you can convert those people into chat subscribers. As soon as they hit chat now and start messaging you, you've got them. Okay, and the brains of this chatbot will be the same brains that you've kind of created, previously. So it's like hooking up not just to your Facebook page, but also through inquiries for your website. Another interesting thing that you can do here is called the Chatbox plugin. So, or checkbox plugin. And so it's here, the checkbox plugin. What this does is it gives you, again, some code to use, okay, that you have to copy. And then if you integrate this to your website, you can add it to your forms. So, for example, like Mobile Monkey has a bunch of forms, like a contact form here, where it says like name, email, message. By adding this little bit of code here, this one here, into this form, there's now another form element called send to messenger. So that's basically an opt-in for messenger updates on your existing contact forms or your existing product sign-up forms, etc. And I think this is so valuable because, like, even if they give you your email, you only have like a 10% chance of reaching them. Here's like an 80% chance of reaching them if they click this box. And it's very easy to do. Any questions about the checkbox plugin? Or anything you would add, Dan, from this kind of building out your messenger contact list?
Nope, I think you got it covered. Nobody's asked any questions about the checkbox yet.
So the last thing I want to talk about today is just this notion of live takeover. Okay, so live takeover just says, like, do you see all these gazillions of chats that are going on here, like they can you can let it laissez-faire, sort of let the bot here's what you guys got in your in your in your message. Um, you can let them, they can talk to the unicorn or so talk to the chatbot, or you can break in. Like you can just say, "Hello, Rhonda. Hello, Rhonda, comma." Just you can just talk to them. Like if they have questions that the bot is having trouble answering, you can just break in. Once you start doing this live takeover, it actually silences the bot, so like you don't have two people talking to her at the same time. And there's two ways to get out of that. You can just, after you're done talking, I can do a \return, or I can just wait for 5 minutes and the session will expire and the bot will turn back on. And so those are kind of it's not just it's not like you're giving up full control to the bot. What you're doing is you're saying, hey bot, you handle like the 80% of the common questions, and the humans will take care of the 20% of these weird custom inquiries that are difficult to handle. You see what I'm saying? And any questions on live takeover and how that could be useful, Dan, from our audience today?
One question I think that might have gotten skipped earlier. Did we go over triggers yet?
We did not go over triggers.
Yeah.
You're totally right. I forgot about this. So, guys, this is a really important concept here. Okay, so this bot that we were showing you earlier, where was it? It was page. The bot here, where it's saying like return to the main menu and all this stuff. This is an example of a kind of a menu-driven navigation. Like I'm clicking on the About Larry button, okay, and it's saying Larry's totally obsessed with unicorns, but it doesn't have to be button driven. It can be, you can allow them to do anything. Like you can have them type in words, and the way that you do this is you create triggers or keywords. So for example, the main menu, if someone types in like main menu, geez, then it should go there. And by the way, it shows you all the things that people have typed in. See, it says like 3 people actually typed in main menu. So probably I should assign a keyword to this content so that if someone asks for the main menu, this is the content that'll get served. Another one is about Larry. So add a trigger. Maybe it could be like about Larry. It could be, I don't know why it's doing that. About Larry. It could be, I don't know, Mobile Monkey CEO, that kind of stuff. And basically you have all these triggers, and then what you can do is just go here and type about Larry, and it returns with kind of my little bio here, if you can call it a bio. So here under the triggers pane, what you can do is you can basically create a bunch of triggers. Like I don't know, if someone says something like it could be like promo, okay, then you say use coupon code XYZ123 for a sweet for 10% off. I'm just making this up for like, or directions, or like what are the questions, hours of operations. You just create this content here, and it basically it will associate content with keywords. This is kind of like search marketing almost. And then if I say promo, exactly. So if you use coupon code XYZ for 10% off. Any other questions, guys? Dan, you're on mute.
Thanks. A lot of people are asking, like, if I have multiple Facebook pages, can I connect the bot to multiple pages? And the answer for that would be it's really easy to clone your bots. So if you have one you really like, you can clone it, attach it to other pages, and from there you can kind of tweak like maybe your contact pages or your about pages to sort of match the different businesses that you're serving. So you don't have to do all the work over and over again. You can really easily clone it on your dashboard. There's
It's
also, sorry, go ahead.
it's this button here, guys. It's the clone button here. All right. And then maybe it's like, say you have a dentist franchise with like 5 locations, and it's very similar. It's just the hours are slightly different. Like, just create one bot, clone it 5 times, that kind of thing. Um, so awesome. Let's go back to our presentation here, kind of wrap things up, because we spent most of the time today on building the chatbots and my top 10 chatbot marketing hacks of all time. We talked about can you see my screen, Dan?
Yes.
Okay. We talked about Q&A. Q&A was like just creating content and assigning it to triggers, and using the power of machine learning and natural language processing. Mobile Monkey will actually match those to synonyms and other similar intents. You see what I'm saying? So it's kind of like in AdWords. You don't have to write down every keyword in the world. You just have to put in like 3 or 4, and then Google will figure it out, like what other keywords are related to this ad. Same idea here. The content hack, we talked about how, all those different ways that we can get all the users' information automatically. The chat blasting is kind of like email marketing on steroids. We looked at the website plugin and the checkbox plugin. We talked about sort of the contact manager in order to get your photos and stuff like this. Facebook ads, like this is the number one use case. This is Facebook ads, just like 100 times better than what you were doing before, and also live operator chat. So many different use cases for this technology. Very interesting stuff. Now you can see why I'm so excited about it. Guys, I have 3 specific asks for you listeners today. Next steps on how to move forward, because it's a lot of information here. Let's make it super easy. So step 1. Go to the Mobile Monkey page and just go to the sign up link in the top corner. Okay. And just go through the sign up page and make sure you check off the little boxes as sent to Messenger so that I can I can send you my important updates. But basically, sign up for this thing. It's free to use forever, up to 100 contacts. And remember, a chat contact is worth 20 times more than an email contact, because you're going to have like 80% open rate instead of 4% open rate. Okay. So you can sign up, use it forever, for free. And basically, in step 2, what I want you to do is connect that account to your Facebook page and create some content. So just start creating a main menu, and think about what are the things you want to offer. If you're a restaurant, maybe you want to have the ability to browse the menu of food, or the lunch menu, or or what are the takeout fees, or just think about what's the content that you want to kind of describe for your business. Maybe if you're a dentist, you might want to have the ability to book an appointment, or to cancel an appointment, etc. So you got to think about what it is you want to do. Create that content using these elements. It's just like a website. And then number 3, I'd love you guys to then just start connecting this to your website also. So uploading the checkboxes and stuff like this. And then step 4, just drive, if you're spending any money on Facebook ads, just send it to the bot instead of the website. But you want to make sure that your bot is really good. This bot that I just created right now, it's in 15 minutes, it still leaves a little bit me wanting for more. I want a more satisfying bot experience. You just got to work on it a little bit, just like how you work on your website a little bit, and make it a little bit more comprehensive. And then you send all your Facebook ad traffic to the bot, because it's gonna work much better. Anything to add here, Dan?
Nope, that's great. Thank you.
Okay, so we have about 4 minutes left for questions here. Just in summary, I love this stuff, the chatbots. I cannot lie. I love chatbots because the conversion rates are astronomically higher, because the connection rates, the visibility is astronomically higher than email, and it's just, when you combine both of these, it's like a unicorn, basically. It's very, very rare, but incredibly powerful way of supercharging your marketing. Maybe we have time for 1 or 2 questions, and then we can wrap up here.
Sure, sounds good. There are a bunch of questions. Here's one from Frank. What type of content usually generates the most engagement with chatbots, like video, animations, white papers, etc.? And do you recommend including some type of call to action, like on this display ad comment guide to receive our free ebook to your inbox?
Yes, of course. So video is better, provided that it's like, not like 20-minute video. It's got to be shorter form video, like 30 seconds or something like this. Like you could just have the answers of all your questions be a person talking. You know what I mean? Like or video content is just such a great format for mobile. And yes, for the calls to actions from your ads. We have time for I think one more question, Dan.
Okay, a lot of people are asking about integrations with different marketing automation systems. Just want to say, as like a broad answer, a lot of people are mentioning Zapier, and we do make it really easy to integrate with Zapier through a custom webhook. I've set it up a bunch of times. It takes just a couple of minutes, and any contact that goes into your audiences will go right to whatever marketing automation system you're using. And if you want any more information about that, feel free to contact us on Facebook or email me.
Awesome. Well, that's I think all the time we have for today. Please help me get the word out of the gospel of chat marketing here in Mobile Monkey. If you can, just let your friends know, and I'll see you at the next event. Thanks so much for joining us today.
Thanks, everyone.
Goodbye.